Hello everyone, it's Narrative Tarot. I'm here for just, I don't know, like a quick video, maybe, hopefully. So the video is basically going to be about the nodes shifting from Gemini, Sagittarius, Gemini, North Node, Sagittarius, South Node to Taurus, Scorpio, Taurus, North Node, Scorpio, South Node. So I am starting to get more intrigued by my Pluto aspects because I have like a few aspects in my chart. So I have my Venus opposed Pluto, my Moon square Pluto. So, and then my natal Pluto will be squaring this like transit Scorpio. Essentially when the transit Pluto, I'm sorry. My natal Pluto will be then squaring this like transiting Pluto when it goes into Aquarius. So I'm like really interested in that. And then I saw an astrologer. I think her name is Nikita. She's cool. I think she is based in Jamaica. Or I think she is Jamaican. I like getting people's backgrounds correct, but I believe, yes, from there. Let's see. Tara Nikita, I think that's her name. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry, I'm like trying to like get it together here. Yes, Tara Nikita. There you go. So she had a video about it. I didn't watch it, but she talked about the nodes switching. I knew they were switching soon, but they're switching sometime in like January. Anyway, turn of the new year, which I don't know how that's gonna work. All right, so I know a lot of people talk about the Taurus Scorpio aspect, but I want to talk about like the Venus Pluto kind of energy. So I'm gonna just do a really short video about this. So when the nodes shift into Venus and Pluto aspects, which is so funny because I have Venus in Taurus and Pluto in Scorpio aspects, just be prepared for like, be prepared for the psyche to come out in very physical, tangible, real ways. Be prepared for any skeletons in your closet to come through, either through other people because of Venus or something like that, or some sort of institution or something tied to land or something tied to money. They're both tied to money. They're both tied to landscape, as in like your psyche and the physical land. They're both tied to, just like water and earth signs are tied to things like discernment. What is yours? What is others? Power plays will be very significant. Power plays within yourself. Power plays between other people. If you have this particularly in the 6th house, 12th house, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a lot of promotions, demotions. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people also started switching up their attitude as their status progresses. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Be very aware of things that you're paranoid about. Be very aware of like media and things like that, as far as the ability to target the underworld psychic stuff. I feel like also in conjunction with being year the tiger, it's a great year to push yourself to the, not to the brink, but like to push yourself to thrive and to strive and be better and to undo all of those little things that hold us back, like Pluto. And being very open and vulnerable with other people. I think it's a great time to do that. It's also Year of the Tiger next year, as far as I know, which is to me Year of the Predator, but Year of the healing of the ancestral lineage, the healing and unblocking of certain DNA codes within our bodies that will activate and help us develop, I'm not going to say superpowers, but help us to develop the mental acuity, physical acuity, the conscious acuity to like thrive and deactivate those things which are not helpful. Year of the Tiger to me is Year of the Predator, so I wouldn't be surprised, and as Pluto is making its way out of Capricorn, that time loops are starting to happen. I think I've said this before, but a lot of the stuff when it comes to media, and this is where the paranoia and the psyche stuff happens, and I've noticed it, a lot of the stuff on the media harkens back to old times and old periods that we weren't alive for, but we can still feel ancestrally. Okay, so Scorpio rules like death and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think it rules just necessarily the dead, but it does rule death. I think there are some aspects of the dead that are in there. I think understanding the power structures, because it does what, semi-sextile, no, it sextiles Capricorn, which are considered ancestors, and it trines Cancer, which would be like ancestors, particularly like the womb space. This is a good time to clear all that shit out. This is a good time to see things for as they are. This is a good time to acknowledge things for what they are, acknowledge people for what they are, acknowledge your workplace for what it is, acknowledge where you are, and become very discerning about the filtration system that is your mind, that's able to carry you forward. Money, Uranus is still in Taurus, so the financial system will most likely still be changing. I would say it's still, I'm not a financial advisor, medical doctor, any sort of professional, tax professional, none of that shit. But what I will say is, money is an energy, and it's also kind of linked to your psyche as well. Your self-esteem, your self-image, your ability to believe that you can do something, the ability to believe that you can cellularly turn over. I think that Scorpio definitely, if you're going to talk about rejuvenation, it's cellular regeneration. In some aspect, your body being able to turn over a lot quicker. You know, if you get a gash in your hand, your ability for your hand to heal, if you get a gash there, as opposed to it doing awfully slow healing, which is an indication perhaps that something is wrong with your body. Money as an energy, because Scorpio and Taurus deal with money, but Scorpio deals with other people's money. Be prepared for financial systems to perhaps get a little bit more predatory. Read things, understand who is behind things. If you are looking to protest, because Pluto is going into Aquarius, which is kind of like the rebel, understand who's backing what, understanding who's behind what, understanding what you're moving into, understand that you need to be able to clear out all the old so that you can see all of the newness, or you can see where you're going. You need to see where you're going. And this time, you need to be very aware of your predators. You need to be very aware of predators and prey. You need to understand ways in which you are a predator to other people, and ways in which you are a prey, and to accurately assess where you are in society. Because we also have Mars energy with the Pluto energy. You need to accurately assess that. And Taurus is exalted, Moon is exalted in Taurus, so I put Moon in there too. Okay. So just assess that. Assess all of that. the next year will be highly, or what, year and a half, whatever, be highly transformative for a lot of people. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people just changed up their physical space, changed up how they look, changed up, shit, Scorpio rules genitals, change that too. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people who suppress things about their love life or suppress things about their sexuality, if that comes up, I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised also, though, because things are more fixed, it's fixed energy, if people got more conservative about it, or people got a little bit more quiet about it, or people got a little bit more underground. What you may find is that there are thriving underground societies for these things that you are into. So I'm going to say it. If you have a backdoor psyche, this is the face that you present to society, but the back door is into some, like, interesting shit. Let's just call it like that. You will find other people that are interested in that same stuff. You will. Now, how far you're willing to go down that rabbit hole, I don't know. Because the thing with Taurus, Scorpio, Pluto, Venus energy, it is about energy exchanges here. Power dynamics are energy exchanges. So how much you're willing to put energy into going into that space is up to you. But you need to make sure that you are the one who has power and sovereignty, because we're dealing with fixed energy and constancy, that you are the person who you say you are, showing up for this stuff. And you're not your mom, your dad, your sister, your cousin, your brother. That you are you showing up in those spaces. That you are you showing up in those spaces that are vulnerable. This would be a great time to look yourself in the mirror and accept things about yourself that you don't like. Accept your dark side, accept your shadow side. A lot of people's shadow side will be coming out. A lot of people's shadows and vices will be coming out. Their ability to spend money on shit that they want to prove to other people. Be wary of overly compensating. Be wary of trying to prove yourself a lot. This might be a time, if you want to learn about card games, board games, strategy, shit like that, this may be the time for that. Mars energy. I know the Art of War is, like, really popular. I think it's going to be a really interesting time. It's going to be a very strengthening time, a very hardy time. I would say you may become more fixed in your ideas. You may become more rigid in your ideas. We're dealing with fixed energy. But you may also be able to develop your tolerance and diligence and discipline to go through things alone. Or go through things that other people consider heavy. Because you're dealing with water and you're dealing with earth. Water makes you very heavy, especially when you get the fuck up out of it. You tend to be just like, damn. Even though it buoys you up, but, you know, once you get out of it, it's like, it's all in your clothes and stuff like that, and it weighs you down. And then earth will bury you alive if you fall into it and get buried alive, suffocate you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you become very aware of the ways in which you're suffocated as a person, the ways in which you're suffocated as your job, your relationships, things like that, and your ability to regenerate and to change is how well you can tolerate and how well you can process things. And it isn't as how fast you can process things. I think that was the Gemini thing. Gemini, Sagittarius would be how much you can process things and how well you're able to integrate the two. You should have been integrating the two, and now we're allowing the true you to come out, kind of. This is all getting us to North Node in Aries, when your sense of self has been developed for quite a bit. It's been developed quite a bit to where you can really, really shine. But this is part of the process. Being able to be vulnerable, being able to do this stuff. It's heavy work. The plant kingdom has something to say. The necropolis has things to say. You will find information in things which are other, as what's his name? I think his name is David. I think his name is Daniel. Daniel Foog. He's on oh my god, it's like an ancestral website. I forget what it's called. But he talks about the other than humans. The other than humans will probably be very, very important in this time period. The technologies, excuse me, because Uranus is in Taurus, the technologies to capitalize off of that stuff will still be going. To capitalize off the earth, to capitalize off the consciousness of the other than human is still there. The potential to connect is still there. It'll be there after we move out of these nodes. Just understand why you spend money. Understand why you give money. Understand what you exchange your money for. Understand the ways in which you try to get people's love, attention, affection, respect through money, and how to use it also to get those things for things you need to change. I'm interested in some things that I want to work on changing, but you need money for that. And so knowing that you need to be a part of the system, to change the system, and to have money to change the system and to work with people, but you also need to be internally focused, cellularly turning over, understanding that this part of aspect of yourself is fractal. You need to integrate it. It's fractal. You need to integrate it. It's fractal. You need to integrate it. Understanding that you have to accept the back doors that you have, the alleyways that you have in your mind, the nice things that you have going on, and let that live. It doesn't mean you have to be like open about everything, but I think at least for yourself, you recognize within yourself what's going on within yourself is very important at this time. And so I think that's it that I want to say for right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if people's Pluto aspects are coming out, or you're feeling like Pluto is becoming a little bit more prevalent, apparent in your life. I wouldn't be surprised. The one thing I will say about this is that I don't think that Scorpio likes being in the South node, only because I think Scorpio represents the choice to be hidden versus being repressed by force. I think that that's something that needs to be said. I don't think, and Taurus isn't necessarily one of those signs that likes the spotlight either. Scorpio thrives on knowing that it has the hidden power to move things. Taurus likes the hidden power to move things. Even if money is apparent, you can see it, right? You can see who has a house and who doesn't. They don't necessarily show you the machinations of how they did it, right? To know that would be to know them like in a very vulnerable space. So also, this may be a time where people may not talk about money a lot. They may not talk about how they make their money a lot. But you'll see that they make money, but they may not talk about how they make their money. They may tell you they have investments, but they won't necessarily tell you why they make those investments, or how they make those investments, or even so far as what those investments are even in. Like I said, Scorpio doesn't like this being forced to be repressed. And that's where the censorship and stuff like that comes in. But that's Pluto and Aquarius also. It doesn't like to be repressed. It likes having the knowledge that it recedes into the darkness on its own free will. That it is not forced to be there, but that it goes there on its own free will. That's all I have to say about that. So I will probably do another video as I have more ideas. This is off the cuff. I don't write things down generally, but this is what I am thinking about this. So if you enjoyed this video, comment, like, subscribe. Definitely. Okay. I'm back. Bye.